Welcome back guys, it's Elwood here from Not So Serious Gaming. Today I'll be bringing you the full co-op guide to the new revisited Call of the Dead. Woo! First of all, you must have power activated to begin this Easter egg. This can be activated on the top of the first ship. Purchase the 3 doors, make your way up on top of it and activate the power switch here. Step 1. Head to the metal door underneath PhD flopper and knife it to trigger the audio of the old crew. Once a quote's finished, a fuse will spawn in upstairs in one of 3 places.
Oh, sure. Right. Yeah, why not?
One's next to the filing cabinet to the right hand side of PhD, just to the left hand side of the cabinet. One's on the desk right next to PhD, just here. And one's on top of the table, just opposite the PhD flopper. Pick it up and then go back down to the door, place it in a fuse box to the right hand side of the metal door and knife it once again. Step 2. More dialogue will play and you'll be asked to destroy 4 security systems. These can be destroyed by using explosives. It's super easy to use a scavenger, although it can be done with normal grenades or any explosions. Also, Semtex can be found at the end of the ship just by mule kick, and these can be really helpful also. You need to make sure that the explosion hits the glowing red light on top of it, and you'll know you've been successful as the light will disappear. These are the locations for all the security systems. The first one is over by the metal door, just there. One of them's just by the shortcut on the way to the start area. Just drop down between the 2 boats and it's over here on the right hand side. One of them's just on the first boat that you can access from the spawn area. Just head to the right hand side towards double tap and it's just over the edge of the boat, just down here. And the last one can be found just behind stamina up. It's out of bounds just outside the window here. If you're using grenades, make sure you count 2 or 3 seconds. These can also be done in any order. Once you've done them all, make sure you return back to the metal door and knife it a few more times until they stop nattering. Step 3, the first co-op step. Time to get gattered on vodka. This requires cooperation between 2 people, as the vodka will spawn in frozen, hanging from a ledge above a walkable area. You now must cut this down and the other player must catch it. You only need to do this once, although if you fail, there are 4 different locations it can spawn in and I'll show you them now. The first 2 locations are just outside the building with PhD inside. One's just here on the railing and your partner must stand by the lighthouse to catch it. The other is above this one, just above the doorway that leads to PhD. Stab it by the box and just stand by the doorway to be able to catch it. The third one can be found on the way to power, that's on the boat with double tap. Just before you start heading up the boat, you'll see it on the railing just here. Stab this and have your partner standing underneath just here to catch it. The fourth and final one can be found just before you jump across onto the boat with the MP40 on it, and it's just on the railing on the left here. Just make sure your partner is on the lower deck of the ship and is ready to catch it. To recap, one of you must stab a bottle and the other one must be underneath to catch it. If you miss it, you can get one of the other locations. If not, you only need to grab one and bring it all the way to the metal door. Place it in the tubes on the left hand side and then stab the door to proceed to the next step. Step 4. You now must locate and interact with 4 radios, but you must do them in a set order. The first one is just underneath the power room, just opposite where the box can spawn. It's just up here on top of this shelf. The second one can be found in the right hand corner of the building that stamina up is in, just on top of these barrels. The third one is next to the gobblegum machine, just by the zipline drop-off point on the boat with mule kick on it. And the fourth and final one is in the same room as the metal door, just in the back left corner, just on top of this cabinet under this stairs. Step 5. Now you can hear Morse code instructions repeating over and over. Make your way back to the power switch. Opposite the power switch is a wheel and 3 levers, and as far as I'm aware this step can be done in any order. Now you must pull the left lever once and the right lever 3 times, and then spin the wheel to the right hand side twice by standing to the right hand side of the wheel. If you stand on the left hand side, it will spin it left. If you do that, make sure you turn the wheel right the amount of times you turned it left, and then 2 more additional times. This will trigger a sound and let you know you've done this correctly. However, in co-op, a green light will not shine to the lighthouse from the submarine. Step 6. You now must find 3 pieces of paper around the map, each with their own colour and number on them. These will be different every game, so just make sure you write them down, especially if you have a memory like a goldfish like me. One can be found to the right hand side of double tap, just within this life buoy. One can be found on the floor, just in front of the jug perk machine. One's just below the blue dial within the lighthouse by the spiral staircase. And the last one can be found in the building with stamina up. Just head behind the machine and it's on the floor by this window. Once you have found all 4 pieces of paper, you must enter the numbers into the coloured dials that correspond to the papers that you found. Although when spinning the dials, other dials can be affected. So I would strongly recommend doing them in this order to save some heartache. Just make sure you enter the numbers that you found for the correct colour. Start with yellow, and then purple, and then the blue dial, and then turn the orange dial, and finally then turn the purple one. An audio will trigger, although this will not trigger a green beam because you're in co-op mode. This beam will appear later on after you've done the next step. Step 7, the second co-op step. Now you must find 4 foghorns and interact with them in the correct order. This step might be timed, although it's incredibly easy to do with 2 people to press them in the correct order nice and quickly. And the order goes... The first one is by the small pool of water just at the bottom of the lighthouse on the left hand side here. The second is where Speed Cola and the sickle are. Just head out the archway and it's on the right hand side, or if you're looking from the angle I am, it's just here on the left. The third is outside the lighthouse once again, just over by the PhD building down in the corner here. The fourth is now back over by Speed Cola, just past where the second foghorn is, and it's just on the little island here. Now just communicate with your friend and press them in the correct order. It's easier to have one person staying by the lighthouse and the other one over by Speed Cola. If done correctly, a green beam will now be projected from the submarine to the lighthouse. Step 8. You'll now need to get the VR11 out the box, so happy spamming. Now you have it, shoot the zombie with the VR11 and it will make its way to the bottom floor of the lighthouse and it will enter the green beam of light. This will cause it to float upwards and you will need to kill it before it reaches the top. You will need something powerful to do this, as it becomes one hench mofo. Once it hits the top, a golden rod will lower to the ground floor, and you need to run down and pick it up. If you're unable to cause enough damage, a fail audio will trigger, and you must lure another zombie over to this and try again. Step 7. Place the golden rod into the tube to the left hand side of the metal door that the OG crew are behind, and knife it a few more times. After a little bit of time, the fuse that you placed in the panel will start flickering. Knife the fuse and it will stop flickering, and then knife the door again. Once all the dialogue has been completed, the door will open and reward you with a Wonder Waffle power up. You have now completed the Easter egg, woohoo! Completing this also turns the Death Machine power ups that you get from killing George into the DG2. And also whenever you kill him in the game, he'll also drop a free perk, making it so you can get all the perks in the map. The tribute Easter egg to George Romero. By the PM63 wall by, you know, the room that leads to Jug, will be some barrels to the left hand side of it. On the left barrel will be a metal contraption. Pick this up. Head over to the flinger on the top of the boat and place it to the right hand side of the flinger. And now just fling yourself. Fling, 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 fling. There's a lot of flings. This will take you to a secret tribute island, offering you a free power up that includes the coolest animation that I think I've ever seen in zombies. I mean, look, a zombie's playing a guitar. I hope you enjoyed my guide as much as I enjoyed making it. If you did, then please help me and my channel out by liking and subscribing, it really means a lot. I just want to shout out Rubber Jubs who helped me get the footage for this video. Cheers mate. This has been Elwood from Not So Serious Gaming. I hope you have a great morning, evening, night, whatever time of day it is. Hope you have a great one and peace out.
The fuck was that?
Yeah!